Un video más para perder el tiempo. Aquí le voy a mostrar el futuro de Don Pollo. Fuimos. Coño, esta llamada no paran. Dime un segundo, mi gente. Le voy a contestar esta llamada, pero es más, no voy a contestar nada.
So, Jujutsu Shenanigans updated, and if I'm being honest, this update was really mid, and that's not to hate on Z or anything. Obviously, I really like Jujutsu Shenanigans, but still, there wasn't much new content added this update. It was a very small update. I'll explain why it was so small later. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. First, I'll show you guys the 3 new things that were added in this update. First up, we have the new variant to Rabbit Escape. It's pretty cool and straightforward to use, although there aren't many situations where it'll be super useful. Basically, to use this variant, instead of the usual move plus R, you just click R and then use Rabbit Escape. You pop out of the ground with your bunnies, knocking your enemy away. I mean, this could be used as a combo finisher maybe, like do a full M1 combo, then Nuo into Toad, and if the guy you're fighting tries to run, hit them with R plus bunny escape. So yeah, overall I think this move isn't all that great, but it's definitely fun to use. Moving on to the next new thing, we've got a new weekly leaderboard with its own set of ranks. Now, I barely play ranked, if at all, but from what I understand, it's basically a leaderboard that resets every week. So for example, if you were ranked 4 this week, everything wipes next week, and you start over from the bottom. It's a pretty cool addition for those who love playing ranked a lot. The next and last new thing in this update is the bunny escape finisher. Here's what it looks like. So yeah, it basically just turns your enemy into a skeleton. I actually missed 2 more new additions. The first one is Cobblestone added to build mode, and the second is melee traits. Cobblestone is a new material you can build with. The traits, just like I predicted in my last video, I said that the new colors on the M1s were going to be for already existing characters. So yeah, the first one is Yuji's, and it's colored red obviously. The second one is Gojo's, and it's blue. The third one is Hikari's, and it's green. The last one is Megami's, and it's black. Mahito doesn't have a colored melee trait for some reason, but I'm pretty sure he'll get one in the next update, probably until he's finished and released to the public. Now that we're done with all the new additions to Jujutsu Shenanigans this update, let's go over the other changes, nerfs, and buffs. First, we have a Mahito buff that quite a few people requested. Previously, when you used Mahito's head splitter, the slashes hit both you and the enemy, but now the first strike of head splitter no longer hits the user. I think it's a solid buff because you used to take quite a bit of damage from using head splitter, so let's stop and compare how it was before and after the buff. So yeah, as you can see, the first slash no longer hits you. Before the buff, it used to hit you as well. Next, we have another Mahito buff. I've seen quite a lot of people asking for a chain whip buff. Now TZE has delivered by increasing the speed of the move. This is chain whip before getting the buff. And this is chain whip after getting the buff. And he also changed the whip sound effect. This is what it used to sound like before. Moving on, we have another buff, and it's for Mahoraga. The buff increases the parry window for Mahoraga's defensive mode. I don't really play Megami anymore, so I don't notice much of a difference, but I suppose it's easier to parry with Mahoraga now. Next, we have 2 other Megumi changes. The first one is that you can now be counterable, and this definitely needs to be reversed in the next update. And the other change is a Megami buff, which is good. Now you can no longer counter Toad. Previously, Toad was basically a free counter because you could see it coming from a mile away due to its long windup, but now that you can't counter it, it should make Toad a bit more effective in combat. Next, we have an Awakening nerf for Hikari, and an Awakening buff for Mahito. So basically, they reduce the amount of Awakening gained when Jackpot ends, Hakari is still really good even after that nerf, so don't sleep on bro. This is how much awakening you used to get back from Jackpot before the Hakari nerf. And this is how much awakening you can now get after your Jackpot runs out.
HKD has arrived.
From about 75 to 80% down to just 50%, still not that bad. And the awakening buff Mahito got is that the amount of awakening used for Perfection's awakening has been reduced, and a very unfortunate, or 4 changes, they fixed the camera sensitivity issue that wasn't being applied to Xbox users due to some old code, as well as issues that occurred after using Ten Shadow's special fixed curse strikes hitting targets on Ragdoll Wake Up and polished up Downslam's visual effects. A lot of you might be wondering why Mahito didn't get a new move this update, especially since we've always seen new moves added every update up until now. Basically, this is why TZE mentioned that he couldn't figure out a good move for Mahito, so the new move has been delayed, which in my opinion I think is straight cap to enjoy. So the delay on Mahito's new move might be because of something else still, I don't know for sure. He also mentioned that this update will be the last one for another 4 weeks, which is just insane because the biggest delay we've ever had on a Jujutsu Shenanigans update was 2 weeks and people were already complaining. He also said, this is a small update by the way, can't be shooting out large updates every week. I mean, a 4-week delay should result in a really big update, possibly including a new character, either Kashimo or Naoya. But still, I don't know, he might be taking a break from Jujutsu Shenanigans to work on something else or just to rest. As we all know, he's a solo dev after all. Anyway, tell me what you think about this small update in the comments, and about the giveaway. I'll probably be pulling the winner either next video or the video after that. So make sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment your username along with the game pass you want. That's gonna be all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care and stay safe.